Yo, people, we're back here for the 201st episode of the Detox Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Darren Rita. Feel free to connect with me at any of the links down below. And if you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing because we've got a whole lot of that going on around here. And when you do subscribe, leave a like or hang out with us in the live chat, or in this case, I think tonight, a premiere chat. It helps us share conversations and laughs like you're going to see tonight with more people. So do consider doing that, as well as turn on notifications. I've been having some people in the last month and a half be like, hey, I really love the show. I love the pod. And I know they're lying, but they say, sometimes I miss the episodes and I'm sad because I want to be a part of the live chat and be in the conversation. Now, to do that, you just got to make sure you have the notifications on so you get the notifications. You can jump in and tell me that I'm going bald, because I swear to God, dude, I think I am. I'm looking at the monitor right now. I think I'm losing it. It's a stress, man. I've been stressed out. But I'll tell you what I'm not stressed out about. I'm not stressed out about my car insurance. These days, it feels like things keep getting more and more expensive. It feels like no matter what we do or say, things are going to be more expensive tomorrow than they were yesterday, okay? Or than they are today. And It's messed up. It's a messed up world we live in, okay? I don't make the rules, though. But I'll tell you what I do is try to save some money when and where I can on car insurance with your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance. People on the screen right now, they're going to help you, dude. They're going to help you save some money on your car insurance. They've specialized for years in simple, hassle-free car insurance using the latest and touch-free technology to help you and your family get the best rates. So I don't know what you're waiting for. This is your chance. This is your time. Give them a call today. Tell them D. Rita sent you. Give them a call. It's 262-448-4141. 262-448-4141. The website's KenoshaINS.com. It's linked down below. Give them a call. Tell them D. Rita Detox sent you. The worst that happens, you're going to get the best rates. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, I got a great episode for you guys. Got a fantastic guest that past version of me is going to introduce to you in a second. Yeah, man, I filmed this episode post playing a couple basketball games, so I was a little out of it, but I think we made for some fun stuff, some good moments, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And that's it. I don't really have any other announcements. I guess I'm just stalling for past me and my guest interview, which is lame of me. I should stop doing that. So here's the episode. What's going on, people? We're back. You old me or new me, one version of me in the timeline, probably did an intro for this podcast and sent you here, back in time, to me now. Me looking rough, me looking scary. I've got a hard hat on because I don't want you to see what's underneath. It's strategic. But we're here. We're filming an episode of the podcast. I don't have a number because I don't know when this is going to come out. But I'm very excited to be introducing you guys to my guest this week. She is currently an undefeated fighter under the Bellator MMA banner. Let's give a wet detox welcome to Mackenzie Stiller is in
Hello.
The building. You're here. What's going on?
Nothing much, just chilling. It's my rest day today. How are you?
I'm living life. Congrats, by the way, on the dub, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you too.
That's first off. So we were talking prior to going live here to the recording. Just kind of how I seen some clips of your journey, your recent fight under the Bellator banner, and I think it was your cousin shared it, and then I had shared it, and he was like, "Yo, you should have her on the podcast," and so now we're here after the dub. So we were talking before we went live though, and you had four amateur fights before this fight.
Yes.
So we just got this first dub. Okay, is it crazy having the recognition of like maybe some people that you used to know, people, maybe family members, people maybe you were seeking some validation from, are like, yo, what you're doing is dope. Keep doing it.
Well, I seek no validation from no one.
No validation.
Just myself and my coaches.
Okay.
But I really appreciate the old friends I used to have in grade school having me on here and seeing them again. That's kind of crazy, seeing them after, I don't know, what, a decade.
Yeah,
something.
it's been a minute. I mean, I obviously saw you around in high school, but like we're not fucking doing anything crazy like that. And you
Yeah.
had your life, I had my life, so nothing like that. But it's super cool just to see the journey that you've been on. And I've only gotten a little bit, just the tip of the iceberg. So I'm kind of excited to find out what it's been like for you. What's not how'd you get started, but why we were joking about this before we went live, right? You were doing judo, you're doing wrestling, you're doing these other things. What made you decide to take the step from those kind of more sports, I guess, to be like, let's put it all together, let's go in the cage and let's kill some people?
So the story's kind of funny. So after judo, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, I was kind of doing that for a while. But then after I met my boyfriend, Juan Resendez, he also fights. Shout out Juan. He also fights. He's an amateur fighter. He won his last fight. But I met him one day, like randomly, and I'm like, and he's like, hey, you would do all this shit. Sorry, am I allowed to swear?
Oh yeah, I dropped the F-bomb already.
Okay,
you can say whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you would do this shit. How about you try this? I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try MMA. And
was that a threat? Was he maybe threatening you think? He was like, hey, step in the ring with me.
All out of love.
Yeah.
All out of love.
Yeah. That's crazy. So he just mentioned it like, hey, you know what? You look like you could do some damage.
Yeah.
And then you did.
Yeah, I'm like, sure, why not? Oh, sure. It's just something willy-nilly spontaneous I did. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll keep doing this.
Really?
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
How's it to get punched in the face?
I mean, it doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
But you really have to get used to it. Like it's like I think the first time I got hit in the face, I was like doing this.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, all right. But now it's like, all right, I get hit and I'm like going forward still.
You're kind of going through it. You're figuring it out.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of like conditioning, just like a workout. You are not used to doing that workout until you keep doing it, and then you just get used to it.
Yeah, it is crazy. I did a little bit of boxing training with a friend of ours that also went to the same high school as us, and he socked me a couple times in the face when we were doing some sparring. I was
Felt
like,
weird, huh?
I'm like, whoa, and I've played college hoops, like I've been like an athlete at a high level and worked my ass off, but getting hit in the face is different.
Way different.
It's different than driving the lane, getting bumped, and refs calling a foul. That's what we're supposed to do here, is hit you in the face. So that's kind of wild. And did you meet your boyfriend through sort of the, like, was it the wrestling side or the judo stuff? Like, where did you meet him?
I met him through jiu-jitsu. The funny thing is he knew my mom like a few years before I even met him because they worked together.
Oh, okay.
But they worked together, and then a few years went by, and then I finally came across him in a jiu-jitsu class. And then ever since then, we just started chatting.
You guys get paired up, have to throw each other down a couple of times?
Sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes.
Cool.
We actually train together, too. Like, we hit each other in the face. I call it mutual domestics.
Wow, mutual domestic violence.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that could say that.
No?
Do you guys ever get in an argument and you're like, you know what? Let's settle this in the ring. Let's just wait till tomorrow. We'll settle this in the ring.
We don't do that, but we definitely joke around like that. We don't really like fight a lot. I mean, we bicker, but it's like when we train, we're like training not with what do you call it? With malicious intent. We don't do that. We're just training, and you're
trying to get better. You're not trying to kill each other.
Yeah, we make each other better.
Yeah, but you remember, you're like, he didn't do the dishes. He didn't do the dishes the other day. I might sneak in.
I remember what you said to me.
Yeah, I remember you liked that girl's picture. I remember. We could. Oh, come on.
Maybe every once in a while we're like, all right, we're getting in this ring, and we have like some unsettled business or
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to tell my girlfriend we got to go play 1-on-1 next time I'm pissed
should.
off. Yeah,
it's a bonding.
Next time we're
it's
pissed
bonding.
off, I'm like, let's play some 1-on-1.
You should.
She probably asked me to go play 9 holes and I'd lose. She was a very good golfer. So it's pretty cool. You're getting some recognition now. You just signed a deal. Can you talk about that at all? I don't want to get into any specifics.
I can talk about it generally.
So for people that don't know, you just won your first fight with Bellator, right? And then what happened next?
Won my first fight, and then about 10 minutes after the fight, the matchmaker is like, we need her on this card, or we need her on our promotion. And then we're like, all right. And then they talked all the details together, and now I have a 4-fight contract with them. And
that's super cool.
We're going to see where it goes from there after this contract.
Yeah. Is there anybody? I don't know if you can even say this. I don't know Here's the thing. I'm not super well versed in the fight world. So if I say anything crazy out of pocket, you could just check me. You could just be like, "Yo, that's not how this works." Is there anybody that you would like to fight?
I don't care who I fight.
You don't care who you fight. Okay.
I'll fight whoever.
You'll fight whoever, whenever,
however.
Yeah.
I'm finishing every single time.
Tables, ladders, chairs match?
Sure.
You versus the Undertaker? He comes back?
Yeah, why not?
Is Bellator owned by UFC?
I don't think they own each other.
No, it's separate entities?
It's separate.
But I know a lot of Bellator fighters will sometimes feed into UFC eventually.
Oh, yeah, it goes, I mean...
People go sign contracts between both.
They go. Like, it depends on how much they offer or, like, who you are with at the time. It just depends on the...
That's fair.
Yeah.
Would you, if Steve McMahon or Triple H ever came to you and was like, hey, could we get you for a couple of matches here in the WWE? Would you ever do it?
I think it depends on where I am at.
Let's say you were already the undisputed title for X number of years, like champion. You won all the fights in the UFC and in Bellator. You did everything you could have ever wanted, right? Career's over. You're ready to retire. And Steve McMahon's like, yo, come wrestle for 3 years.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
They make billions.
Yeah, dude.
Doing acting. They're acting. Dude, of course I would want to.
That would be badass. They're very talented too. We had some pro wrestlers on and like kind of they're from PAL Wrestling, which is like a more of a local scene here in like the McHenry, Kenosha area. And dude, they put their bodies through a lot as well. It's not the same thing, obviously, totally different, but it is cool. It's very cool, and it's definitely an art as well. Mm-hmm. But so prior to getting this contract and winning that fight, I want to know what's your mindset after your boyfriend convinces you maybe you should try this out. You give it a shot. You enjoy it. How do we go from that to saying yes to your first amateur fight? And what's your head like? Like, are you excited? Are you nervous? Like, what do you feel like?
Well, from where I started to how I get into it is he introduced me to my coach. My coach is like, she has a fire in her eye. She's fighting. And I'm like, all right, so I was training for my first amateur fight for like a year, and I fought. And then
how'd that fight go?
Oh, I finished her in the first round with rear naked choke.
Wow. I don't know what that last part meant.
It's a choke where you just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yeah. Do you ever feel bad?
No, because they would do the same to me.
Yeah.
And it's just, I kind of just want to kill them.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the mindset you have to have, I feel like. Yeah, but it is crazy. So how fast did that end? Was the first round?
It was the first round. I was kind of hesitant at first because it was my first one. So it ended in like a minute, 34 seconds.
She's like, oh, it took me a while because I was nervous. Minutes, fucking 30 seconds to knock this or choke this girl out. That's crazy. That's super cool. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be giving you flowers all day, just letting you know, because this is incredible, very incredible.
I appreciate that.
So you win that fight. Are you like, what is the feeling of once you feel that tap, you feel the person quit or the ref calls the fight? What's that like? What is in that moment? What do you feel?
It's finally over.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like, it's finally over. All the preparation actually meant something. Yeah. You know, but I just feel normal. I don't know.
What do you want anything like specifically afterwards? Like, are you like, man, I want to celebrate a win, like a good win with?
We just drink.
Okay.
We just drink.
Drink a choice.
Mickey's beer, whatever is available.
Okay. No sweets or anything like big. You're like, man.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
We celebrate with food as well.
What kind of food? What kind of food is built for champions?
Oh man, anything that's available, because fights usually are really late and a lot of places aren't open, so we take whatever's open. Okay, which is fair. Still delicious because after a weight cut, you think everything's delicious.
Yeah. How much have you ever had? What's the most you've ever had to cut weight?
I walk around at 130, 135, and I fight at 115.
Holy shit.
No, but like 10 pounds of it is like water.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I mean, it's still hard, but it's not like you're cutting muscle or body mass.
That's fair.
It's like, for me, I cut like 10 pounds of water, and then like 5 pounds of it is like the extra fat we have.
That's fair. And when we were talking before we went live, we both drink quite a bit of water. I know for myself personally, I can't speak for you, but I my weight fluctuates about like 8-9 pounds every day because I drink so much water. So it's like, I don't even know how much I weigh sometimes because I'm like, if I weigh myself before I start drinking water, it's gonna be 8 pounds lighter than once I start drinking water.
That's how I am
the day.
too. I can't tell my weight.
So that's fair. So do you, when it comes to weighing, again, I'm not super well versed in the fight world. Are you weighing in? How close to the fight do you have to weigh in? The day before, or is it?
We usually do the day before.
Okay.
And then we have those extra hours to drink and hydrate and then eat a good healthy meal. Our coaches actually cook our meals for us.
Okay, what do you get before a meal or before a fight?
It depends. Usually our first meal is like something like light because our stomachs are so little.
Yeah.
Like we have to like
expand them.
Yeah. We really have to start slow into what we eat, but it's usually like salmon and like salad and then berries, fruit. Just like little things like that.
How do you like your salmon? You getting smoked salmon? We putting that on a sandwich? How are we doing that?
They usually make it because smoked. I feel like smoked will be too harsh on your stomach for some reason.
Okay.
But with like baked, because they like lightly season it. There's like no seasoning, and smoked salmon has like a lot of salt in it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would make us not feel very good if we're not.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Is there anything as somebody who's fighting, like this is what you're doing? Like we were talking before we went live. You're doing this 6 to 7 times a week. This is your life. What is maybe something that you've had to give up to pursue this at the level at which you're doing so? What's something you've had to maybe say goodbye to of your past life?
I mean, I've been training most of my life, but when we really have to be disciplined, we have to give up how much we eat and what we eat and drink. So that's a big sacrifice. We have to sacrifice maybe people wanting to hang out with us. Yeah. Even family events we can't go to because we don't want to be surrounded by all that food and drink and
the merriment. You can't have people happy around you. You got to be ready to kill people.
You have to be miserable.
You got to be mad. You got to be pissed off at the world. No, that's so. Is there anything in specific that like maybe a favorite food of yours that like was a comfort food that like you don't have until maybe after a fight?
Pizza.
Pizza?
I love pizza.
I fucking love pizza. So you're talking to the right guy here.
I know.
Pizza.
It's my favorite.
So what's your favorite pizza?
Oh man, I'm not picky.
Anything.
No, anything. I like an all veggie pizza to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Extra
my girlfriend
cheese.
Likes that too. Yeah. Extra cheese veggie pizza. Okay. Yeah, dude. We got to get you one of those after the next fight. We got to come in fucking thick crust, thin crust.
Oh man, I love thin crust.
Yeah,
thin crust.
Yeah, thin crust salad too. I like them both.
I like anything. I'm not picky.
I'll eat deep dish.
I do not discriminate.
Yeah, do not discriminate with the pizza. So yeah, dude, so you're not eating pizza when you're getting ready for fights. No, when's the last time you had pizza?
Yesterday.
Crazy. So okay, what'd you have yesterday?
I had a whole bunch. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a whole bunch, but there was a whole bunch of options. I had a veggie with sausage.
Okay.
That's what I had.
That's fair.
Yeah.
As somebody who trains as much as you do, can you, when you want to, if your stomach's not shrunk, can you eat quite a bit?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can eat a whole lot.
Yeah, because I could smoke a whole pizza, bro.
I can. Me too.
I'll take it out.
I can.
We should go do. There's this challenge. I think it's in La Crosse.
Oh man.
It's a 10-pound pizza.
With 2 people?
2 people. That's the max a human body I think can eat in one sitting is 5 pounds of food.
I don't think I would morally want to put 5 pounds of food in myself.
See, I hate myself already, so I'll do it. The cheese will be enough to get me through it. But yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a while.
We should fast for a couple days and then do the challenge.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good idea. So it kind of took us off a little bit, but so what maybe aside, you said aside for you had to give up pizza, having to give up maybe some time with family, friends, has there been anybody maybe in your life, in your circles, around you that was like, as you're getting into this and maybe as you were getting even more and more serious with it, was like, hey, Mackenzie, like you could get fucked up. Like maybe, like was anybody nervous for you?
Almost everyone.
Yeah?
Everyone's nervous for me.
Any doubters? Any people?
Oh my God, there's doubters. I know this one specifically. I'm not going to name drop, obviously.
Yeah.
But they laughed in my face when I said, you're going to know my name. And this was a year ago. Oh. And they laughed in my face. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to show you. I don't really care because I'm going to be the one making money and you're still going to be where you're at.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's like secret doubters,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
People just don't.
There's always
not
haters.
Gonna buy it. Of course. They drive you? You do some David Goggins? You listen to the footage of them talking shit? You should have recorded that laugh and played that in the headphones while you're training.
No, it's right here. It's right here.
You got it.
I hear and see them.
Yeah.
No, I really don't think about them very often because I'm just focusing on what I need to do in life.
That's what you should do, right? That's how you should do it. That's cool. I know it's got to feel good though, especially getting the contract and now winning your first fight and looking forward to a couple more fights. To have that under your belt, especially as somebody if you said that to somebody and they laughed in your face, to have that no, I know what I'm doing.
There's a satisfaction right there.
Yeah.
I really do feel that, but I really feel just after my win, I'm like, yeah, I won and everything, but I look back on the footage and I realize what I need to work on. Really, I don't really. I mean,
not a whole lot of time to celebrate. Yeah. You're like, man, this is the things I did that I could maybe tighten up a little bit. Yeah,
we have one night of celebrating, but during that night, me and my coaches were going over the footage saying, this is what we're going to work on.
Yeah.
And there was we were celebrating, but also correcting.
That's the desire you got to have though, right?
Yeah.
You're so enthralled in this discipline and what you want to do that, even after you just succeeded and you just did in your world, because that's all that matters right now is that fight, and you did it and you succeeded. Afterwards, you're still like, hey, I want to get better.
You should never be satisfied in anything you do.
Yeah.
The only time you should be satisfied is if you retire. And I'm never satisfied, ever.
Never retiring. You heard it here.
Ever retiring. I'm never satisfied.
No, I'm just kidding. Do you ever, this is something that this is a toxic trait of mine that I have, but I believe I've put in a lot of work. You put in the hours of work at your craft, right, at a sport, at a discipline, and you get confident in your skills and your ability. This is something that I do, which is kind of dumb, but I'll be in a Walmart, or maybe any store, movie theater, anywhere, just out in public, and I'll think to myself, I'm probably the best basketball player in this Walmart right now. There's probably nobody that can shoot it the way I could shoot it. Do you ever be in Walmart, Target, and be like, man, I could probably beat the shit out of anybody in here if I wanted to?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, I bet, dude. I was gonna say, because you gotta have that confidence as a fighter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay to have that confidence. It's not okay to voice it and go up to people and say, I'm going to beat that.
Oh, yeah. I don't go up to the cashier and be like, hey, bro, let's get outside. I'll show you what's going on. I'll cross you, give you this AI crossover. No. But, yeah, I think that's something as well. I mean, you had this interaction that you mentioned where you were telling somebody, you're going to know my name. Do you have you ever had people get turned off by your confidence of you just believing in yourself, even though you're putting in the work to back it up, and people are like, hey, maybe you should not be so whatever?
I don't think so. I think they probably kept it to themselves if they did, because I think my vibe would not, they would keep it to themselves, because it's just so overbearing, because there's a lot of insecure people.
Yeah.
And insecure people do not know how to respond to confident people.
It's true.
They just keep it to themselves, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Or they'll try to pull you down because they don't want to see.
Yeah, because they're jealous because they think they could never do it.
Yeah, but they probably could if they just put the work in,
Humans are capable of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you look at David Goggins.
Thank you, dude.
Bro,
I love that dude.
I'm not gonna say everything he did because there's 1,000,001 things he did.
Yeah.
But he's just a story and a half.
Yeah, he wrote 2 books. I read the first one. I'm waiting on the second one. I gotta get the second one.
We have his audiobooks, my boyfriend and I.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Badass.
Yes,
That's badass.
Listen to him.
So what's the biggest differences? Did you do any other team sports or whatnot growing up, or?
I tried out sports. Yeah, I can't name them all because I did every single one in grade school that Lakewood had, and I'm sure you did too.
Yeah.
I track, basketball. I was not a softball. The only thing I'm good at is combat.
Yeah,
I'm not good at the other
messing
ones.
people up.
Yeah.
But what obviously, because you've done them, you've tried them, right, and you've done some practices and whatnot of everything. What are, as far as you can see, maybe some of the biggest differences in the prep for these different, team sports versus combat sports?
It's not as hard.
No, you
in
don't think
my
so?
opinion.
Yeah.
Because I was never on the team sports where it was college level.
Yeah.
I'm sure their warm-ups are way harder than
I mean, we're not. You were talking before we went live about how much you're doing yoga and icing and whatnot. I went to a shitty college. They were not taking that good of care of our bodies. I wish they would have been. So I definitely agree with that. But what did you see maybe in the attitude towards preparation as well as like the kind of training? Because obviously it's, you're doing stuff with this, not stuff with this. So
I mean, it's just more intense. We do a lot more dangerous drills. I don't know. I mean, you're always getting hit in the face and shit. I don't know. It's just more intense overall. It's just way more intense. Wrestling practice was always intense in high school. Yeah. That's probably the hardest sport. It's even harder than MMA, in my opinion.
Wrestling.
It's just the intensity. It's like the brutality of it. Yeah. It's just so, I don't know. It's harder. But, I mean, they're both hard. But I think with all the other sports, the combat sports are just more intense.
Yeah. I feel like I could see that. I think especially from a perspective of what's at stake, I think people in whatever sport they're in or whatever field they're in, it doesn't have to be a sport, it could be anything, you should be looking at it as if you're competing in some level of do or die. But when you're in the ring facing somebody and that's what they want to do is put your ass on the ground, I mean, that is literally what's going on. So I think maybe that training is going to translate a lot better for that than it maybe will for other sports,
I think especially being one-on-one versus team sports, there's a lot more pressure one-on-one than there is everyone together, because you're more willing to make a mistake as a team, and you're not willing to you
could mess up, not guard your guy. We can still win the game. But if you put your hands down for a second, it could be done. Yeah, it could be over. It could be really fast. Are there any MMA fighters or combat sports vets or famous people that you kind of looked up to as you were maybe getting into the sport, or maybe even as early as high school or college? Nobody that you were interested in?
Nope.
Really? Did you watch the sport at all?
Not really.
No. Okay. So you're just like, man, I'm coming here. I'm gonna take care of business.
It was so random, like I said. It was so random.
That's cool. That's very cool, though. Do you have a walkout song?
I have some. I've walked out to different songs every single time. I think the one that stuck the most was "Hard Out Here for a Pimp" by Valley and Flo. Okay,
I've never heard this song. I'm gonna have to listen to it after. That sounds sick, though. Is it hard?
It's it's not like hard, but like the lyrics are like, all right, she's cool. Yeah. Like she's gonna beat this girl's ass.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, so is that how you determine what you're gonna pick? Like, what goes into picking a walkout song? That's got to be kind of fun.
That's also random.
Yeah?
I'm a really spontaneous person.
You're just like, whatever I'm feeling the night before, I'm sending that to the promoter.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's fun, though. That is fun. Take us into the mind of a fighter walking into the ring. Just that walk, right? That walk in before you get in. You were in the cage last fight, right? It was so before you get into the cage. What is that walk up to the cage like? What's going through your head?
Oh man, I can't speak for all fighters because they're all mostly nervous. But I don't. It feels like training, to be honest. I'm just like, all right, woo, let's do a little dance.
Yeah. Do you think that has to do with maybe the level at which you prepare?
Yes, our coaches prepare us. We are beyond prepared. That's why none of our fighters are nervous. Yeah. Like, you can see it in the cage, too. Like, all those fighters who are nervous versus our team. Yeah. Like, we just outclass them.
That's important. That's very well done on the coach's part, right? To make sure you guys are ready
they are
mentally.
The best coaches. You won't find any other coaching around like that.
So what you mentioned team a couple times, and again, forgive my ignorance, not knowing whole lot about the fighting scene. How does that work? What are you with a gym? Are you with? How does the team aspect of things work that you're describing?
We're in a gym with the same people. We don't go gym hopping. We have our training at our gym, Huntley, Illinois. Okay. And I don't know, we all just train together all the time, and it's the same coaches. It's just a good, friendly.
Is there a name for this team?
Yes, it's called One Touch Fight Team. I have it.
Okay, One Touch Fight Team. Here. Oh, I like the sword. One Touch
Fight Team. Yes, it's a sword and crown. Okay. We take over.
Oh, shit.
We get skulls. We use them as cups, to drink.
Yeah.
No,
that's badass.
No, it's One Touch Fight Team out of Huntley, Illinois, and we train out of Omega Training Center. That's the gym that we train out of because it's also a wrestling facility. So So we're kind of like 2 gyms in one, basically.
That's nice. So, have you been with the same gym the whole time then?
Yes.
Okay, very cool.
Yes, I'm very loyal to my gym.
I respect that.
I have faith in them.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have faith in you too. You're fucking killing it right now. So we touched on the walkout song. We touched on other sports versus MMA. I want to know how are you after a training session? So we talked about a little bit about after a fight, but we touched on it before we went live, just about your prep and what you're doing to your body in between training sessions to recover quickly and efficiently. Can you take us into some of what you do, like what your day-to-day is on like training versus recovery, then your actual, because you work another job too.
Yes,
on top of that.
I work full-time.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So could you just bring us a day in the life of an undefeated Bellator fighter?
So I'm just going to go through my schedule real quick.
Yeah,
I wake up in the morning.
What time?
5 a.m.
5 a.m. sharp.
And then I do 10 minutes of yoga. I drive to work. I ice for about an hour. And then my first break is at 9 a.m. I do another yoga session for 10 minutes and ice for another hour. And then my lunch break is 30 minutes at like 11:30. And then I do static stretching. And then I do a cardio workout or a lift with weights. And then I ice for another hour after that. And then I come home, I do 20 minutes of yoga and ice for another hour. And then I go to training for about 1 to 2 hours every night. And then I come back, do 10 minutes of yoga and ice for at least 30 minutes.
God damn.
Then I do it again.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're not watching any TV shows? You don't got time? Or do you have anything that you do for fun in between?
I'm on my phone too much.
Okay.
Like everyone.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
I usually, if I'm not doing that, I'm training or working.
That's fair. That's a packed schedule, day to day.
Yeah, we can't do anything.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of it. What's a rest day look like? A day where you get to see your family, like hang out. What do you get to do? What do you really look forward to on a day where you get to maybe rest?
Do nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I look for. We usually do laundry on those days or like grocery shop, kind of like active recovery and walking and stuff.
Okay.
Like we're Superstore. You shouldn't just lay around and do nothing, You should go on like a walk or something.
Yeah, of course. Active
and that's
recovery.
why we grocery shop and do laundry.
Okay, that's exciting. It's mundane.
Exciting to us.
It's exciting to you though,
Yeah.
especially based on what you're putting your body through during the week. Do you ever feel like you're missing out on anything, or
No.
you love it?
No, I like my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
So why not do an Epsom salt bath if you're weight cutting?
Because when you're weight cutting, you are already depleted of nutrients and just because you have less food intake.
Yeah.
And you're just water loading.
And what the Epsom salt does, the Epsom salt's kind of just taking everything
out of you. It draws everything out of you, not just one thing. It draws everything out.
Damn. Is there any other maybe tips or tricks that you've picked up through taking this as serious as you have that maybe you wish you would have known sooner, like something about recovery or even stretching?
Well, the recovery part I already had because I have like a bad back and everything, so I already knew the recovery part before all that.
Yeah.
So I've been doing everything the same even before I started doing this. But like with food, you gotta really make sure you're having the right foods. Obviously, it seems like a no-brainer, but a lot of people have no idea about the food they should have. And they should really have anti-inflammatories.
How do we get those? What's it in?
You could do turmeric and black pepper. There's lots of food that have anti-inflammatory properties. There's also supplements.
What's a favorite food of yours? Favorite meal that you get a great meal out of? It's got the anti-inflammatories. You feel good after eating it, and it maybe tastes okay.
I think my shakes in the morning.
Okay.
Doesn't have any like protein in it or anything because it's what I break my fast with. Something very light. It's like cucumber, lime, and then just ashwagandha powder. That's to relieve your stress naturally.
Yeah.
And then we have mushroom complex, stevia or honey, and a green like kale. And that's my favorite. And matcha powder.
You like the matcha?
Oh, it's natural caffeine.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Wow. What how How'd you come up with that? First off,
I don't know.
You just were whipping some stuff together. Wow.
Mad scientist, bro.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. Wow. So that's what you're eating. You mentioned a few different things in there that I think I maybe want to get into with the food. You said that people don't really know. A lot of people don't have a good idea of what to eat. That first off, as a shake sounds. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like it would taste ass potentially, but
tastes good.
I'm sure it's very good for you.
It is good for you. I mean, the stevia
and if you like
and
it,
honey.
Oh yeah, I guess there's something. I mean, I don't really drink anything other than water. I guess I drink a little shot of orange juice in the morning.
I don't drink anything but water either.
Yeah, but so other than that, what's like a meal that's a go-to of yours for dinner? What's a dinner?
Oh, okay. There's a couple. I like salmon, white rice, and like avocado with some broccoli.
Okay, you put that like in a bowl?
Yeah, just
whole thing. Yeah.
With some seaweed wraps, just that's good. I like ground beef and eggs with broccoli.
Okay.
And that's basically our go-to meals.
Really?
That's what we have.
Do you eat like a lot of the same stuff over and over again? How do you overcome the challenge of? I know a lot of people when they're trying to stick with a diet or trying to stick with a lifestyle change, right, of how they're eating. Sometimes the discipline of staying with the same thing for so long, eating the same maybe 3-4 meals over and over again, can get pretty mundane and kind of they get bored of it. How do you stay maybe excited or disciplined with that?
Well, I don't have that issue. I can have the same thing every single day for the rest of my life. I don't have a problem with it.
Oh, okay.
But it's just the fact that you're like starving.
Yeah.
And you're like, anything tastes good.
Yeah. And you mentioned that shake breaks your fast in the morning.
Yeah.
Are you doing intermittent fasting then?
Well,
what kind of fast do you do if you're in fight camp?
I only fast the minimum because I have no choice to eat later because practice ends at 8 o'clock. So I eat I know.
Yeah.
I have no choice. Otherwise, I'll be starving when I go to bed, and you can't sleep when you're starving.
Yeah.
But I probably have like a little, I don't know, I have like a hard-boiled egg and then some broccoli or something at like 8 o'clock, and then I don't eat again until like 8 o'clock the next day. So like 12 hours.
Okay.
Of fat. I mean, that's enough.
That's good. That's very solid. That's definitely solid.
Give your guts a break.
What anything that particularly drew you to fasting, or was that something that maybe a coach suggested and you just kind of?
No, I just do it because I mean it's good for you.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, you. Really
I've done it for a little bit, but not a whole lot.
You have to give your insides a break, digesting and stuff. So, I mean, 12 hours minimum, but I fasted 16, 20 hours before.
Holy cow!
So I don't know.
You ever get dizzy? You ever like, holy shit, I haven't eaten so long?
Sometimes, but when you get used to it, you're good.
That's fair.
Once you know how to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very experienced in like huge fasting like that. Like I said, I only do 12 hours, and I'm sleeping most of the time when I do it. So I can't really give any advice on the long fasting.
That's fair. What you put your body through a lot. You take good care of your body. You work very, very hard. Is there anything physically that maybe it could be with fighting, could be outside of fighting? Is there any physical challenge that like you very much look forward to maybe doing one day in your life? Something that looks enticing. You know, some people want to run marathons. Other people want to do like the 100-mile thing, triathlons, whatever. Anything like
little goals.
Yeah, anything like fun, maybe side quest aside from MMA, or is that's solely the goal right now?
That's solely the goal, because when I retire, I'll basically just be doing basic active things to keep me in shape.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my only goal is to be world champ in my weight class, and then world champion in the weight class above me. I'm gonna be double champ. And I will be double champ.
Hell yeah.
I will be.
Well, how do we make that happen for people that are ignorant on the fight scene? Where are we in that journey? Obviously, we just won our first fight, right? And you got the 4-fight contract. So let's assume we win all 4 of those fights handingly. First round, smoking people.
I could have a title fight, yeah.
Within those 4 or after? Maybe after those?
It's possible to have that in those 4, but to keep it more realistic to everyone, probably after the 4.
Yeah.
Right after.
Do you have a manager then?
Our coaches do all that. Like I said, our coaches are everything.
Dude, respect to your coaches. They're taking good care of you.
Brett Brendel and Vincent DeSico. Shout out to them because they do
Vinny
everything.
DeSico?
Yeah. You know him?
I feel like I might. He might be related. Derek, who's in our league. He's we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
I think we have a connection. That's cool. Okay, badass.
Yes.
And so they handle that kind of stuff for you guys as well.
They handle the management. They make the food for us. They tell us what to do. They give us privates. They train with us. They do what we do in training.
I will say that, dude. That is something I love in a mentor or a coach, is if they're putting their, maybe, they don't have to be doing every single thing, but if they're putting their body through the same stuff they're teaching you, I feel like that just brings a level of validity to what they're speaking and what they're saying that helps me to trust the training and trust the process, no matter how bad it is. It's a lot different than when you have, with all due respect, that coach that
just points the finger.
Yeah, they're just like,
he has no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, they're like, I like the sport, so do that. Try this. Let's do this. Let's run this play. Let's train this way.
These older guys are training with these young dogs, so all props to them.
Yeah, that takes a special level of fucking craziness up here.
They're really great and crazy in a good way.
Yeah. So, speaking of the crazy in a good way, you mentioned that your boyfriend, who you met kind of in this, put you onto this, right? Mm-hmm. How is it dating an MMA fighter, mixed martial artist?
It's great because when you're in fight camp, more than likely they're also in fight camp. So we're being disciplined together versus, let's say you don't date an MMA fighter, you're in fight camp and you see them eat and drink whatever they want. When you can't, it's kind of infuriating. Yeah,
especially at a level that you're at right now, where maybe, let's say you're hopefully we will be double champ, millions of dollars, right? And you've got people that are taking care of meals and whatnot, right? If you had that and you were with somebody who wasn't, maybe things would be more manageable because you'd be able to, have your own space, have your own things. But at the level you're at right now, especially getting started and getting your foot in the door, having that with somebody to go through that together, that's got to be invaluable.
It's a bond.
Yeah, isn't it?
We bond a different way that way. Yeah.
I mean, you're almost adding a team element to such an isolated sport, right? Where it's this is a very solo journey that you're going on, but you have somebody who's going through the same thing, so you guys can relate to the same issues, the same struggles, I'm sure, and I'm sure that's got to be very helpful.
It is very helpful, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's just when we don't have fights at the same time, it's a little harder to do fight camp, but when we're doing it together, it's really it's a piece of cake to do fight camp together because we're both going through the same shit at the same time. That's the same feelings.
So I've heard that fighters are not supposed to, and this may be a myth. I've heard that fighters are not supposed to do anything sexual up to fights. Is that a real thing?
I've heard other things. I've heard that Ronda Rousey had sex before every single one of her fights to help her in her fight.
Dude, respect.
I know, right?
It's fucking cool.
Maybe it's different for guys and girls.
Yeah, I've heard that's what the thing is with guys. You always hear you can't have any release until you got to keep that pent up.
Oh, that's like a testosterone release. Yes, I've heard of that. I think girls it's different because we obviously don't have testosterone like you guys do.
Yeah.
So I think it's a testosterone thing why guys cannot.
Yeah, but especially if it's a release. No, I don't know. I wouldn't want to fight anybody after I just nutted. Yeah. I wouldn't want to. I would go. I'd be. You're like, dude, in the sunken place right afterwards. I wouldn't be able to fight anybody after that.
Maybe that's why they don't do it.
Maybe, yeah,
that
maybe.
Feeling.
That's crazy. Yeah, I always wonder that, and especially you guys are dating. I'm sure that's got to be an interesting thing. If somebody was like, oh, he's not allowed to do anything, and you're in your fight camp, and they're like, no, you should before you fight him. If you guys would be like, well, we got to rock paper scissors for how the fuck this is gonna go down.
To be honest, we're way too tired to fuck. All right?
Yeah,
we're too tired.
Yeah.
We're we make plans to, and we're like, yeah, we're too tired.
Yeah, let's just how
training
sleep.
Goes.
Yeah,
that's a sacrifice.
Yeah,
that's another sacrifice I had not mentioned before.
Yeah,
that we're just too tired to have any intercourse, and it's just another sacrifice.
I believe it 100%, especially with that daily routine you broke down for us. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on. You really do. What are, if a quick tidbit thing, what are three reasons somebody should date an MMA fighter?
3 reasons why?
3 pros of dating an MMA fighter.
3 pros. You go through the same shit. you bond better over it. And the third one, I mean, it's, I don't know. I think the main ones are just going through the
shared experience.
Yeah, the shared experience and bonding over it, and having other things in common, main things in common.
Yeah, I mean, because it's both of your lives, you know.
Yeah.
So having that main thing, a lot of people are passionate about different things.
It is a lifestyle, so if the other person does not agree with it, then you're really gonna clash heads.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have been through it with my ex. Like, we were not on the same level of what we were into, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, that can be hard. That can be difficult. What are, and these can be stupid or funny or whatever, but what are the maybe a few reasons why it's tough dating an MMA fighter? Some things that can be difficult. The fact that they can beat your ass, maybe potentially.
Well, I think the dynamics are different because I'm a girl.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I
and did you date? But prior to this boyfriend, did you date somebody that wasn't an MMA fighter?
No, he was.
So you've only dated fighters.
No, I mean, I know. The last boyfriend I dated, he was not into anything. He was into gaming.
Okay.
And he's kind of annoying.
You kind of snarl. You're like, oh, gamers.
No offense if you play games. I mean, I'm down to play games. It's just like not.
You don't got time for it.
No, because I'm training. I mean, no disrespect, because some people, just like my training, are dedicated to gaming. So.
Could you bench press your ex? Could you press him a couple of times?
Probably.
No way, dude.
He wasn't big.
No way. Shout out to him, bro. Respect. That's sick. That's super cool.
He's a small guy.
Yeah. No, that's badass. I mean, okay, so do you think maybe the intensity could be something that, you know, maybe gamer X maybe wouldn't get down with? Maybe the intensity of the lifestyle and the discipline that you have to get behind.
I think he felt left out.
Yeah.
He just felt left out.
What I always ask this to people when they are in an interesting field. Like I had an actor on a while back, and I was asking him about maybe what are the things that he could see in himself that if he was trying to, you know, date somebody that wasn't an actor, that would be difficult. Do you think it would mostly be the lifestyle?
Would it be the lifestyle?
Yeah, like would that be the thing most difficult, you think, on your end, like for someone else to like get or to come to grips with if they weren't also a fighter,
it's
right?
because they don't understand the things you go through.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to have someone who relates to it. Like being a martial artist, like if the biggest perfect example of a guy training and then the girl's like, you're always at the gym, blah blah blah, or maybe vice versa, but it's very common in guys mostly.
Yeah, you
have to find someone who has been doing that. Like maybe she does maybe not what you do, but she does a different martial art. Yeah. Or she's accustomed to what they do, because otherwise they won't understand. Yeah. Like, why are you spending all your time at the gym and not with me, type of thing. Yeah. You gotta have someone who understands and comprehends why you do that and why it's very important you do that.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'd have to explain. I'd be like, hey, babe, get this. I'm gonna get my face, the face that you like, gonna be ruined if I'm not there. So let me be there so that I can make sure I can duck and weave and I'm not getting dropped. But yeah, that's got to be something difficult, I can imagine, in relationships if you're with somebody that doesn't understand it. I don't know if you can get into this, if this is like a strategy thing. What's your favorite lock to put somebody in?
Like my favorite submission?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an arm bar expert.
Oh, okay.
In my last 4 fights, because my first fight was a rear naked choke. So every fight after that has been an arm bar submission.
Okay.
And that's what I do in practice a lot. I mean, I obviously have other things.
You got other tools in the arsenal.
But if it's there, I'm not just going to be like, oh, I need to prove to them that I can do something else. Yeah. But no, if it's there, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And if you get so elite at getting people into it,
why not do it?
Yeah. Why would you stop? Steph Curry doesn't stop shooting threes because he's good at them.
Yeah,
That's fucking stupid.
Exactly.
You know, he's going to keep doing it. But yeah, so it's that's cool, dude. That's cool. What anything that the people should know going forward in your career, anything that you want people that maybe see this and they're going to look back on this in X amount of years, right? And you're this storied fighter that's accomplished all these many great things. Anything that you want to tell people looking back, tell people right now, or tell yourself that's maybe looking back fondly at this moment?
No, because I will be the same. I mean, I'm not going to be the same exact person, but my morals will be the same, and what I think is going to be the same.
Wow.
Because I'm not in a toxic area in my mind or anything. I'm very clear.
Okay.
Very positive, very healthy.
Well, I'm going to say hello to future Mackenzie. Hi. I'm happy you were here today. No, super cool, dude. Super cool. Anything for me? I want to see what we're at time-wise, because I know we don't have you all day, and I got to eat something eventually.
For sure.
We still got a little bit. We still got some time. So we talked about your favorite submissions. We got the arm bars and whatnot. Is there anything that you're currently working on that you're very proud of the progress you've been making?
My striking. Yes.
Okay.
In my fights, you could see that obviously it's not going to be as good as striking as the champions of my division right now, but we're really working on that, and there's a lot of progress because I do 2 privates a week, and then after my privates, I do class after that.
Wow.
So I do 2 hours of grinding, 2.5 hours of grinding.
Jeez.
So it's like we're really leveling up, and
Yeah.
really, I take it seriously.
And it's exponential growth,
Yes.
dude. Doing it that often is just going to be compounding. What do you, as somebody who is an elite grappler, right? What is somebody that is an elite grappler trying to take from the expertise you have in that to then apply to the striking? Is there like what discipline, what mindset are you having to maybe adopt, or things in specific technique that you're having to learn?
Like as a grappler to striking?
Yeah, like how are you trying to make that? How does that work? That transition, because it's got to be pretty. I imagine it's got to be challenging.
Just keep your damn hands on your face.
Okay.
It's easier said than done. I
Yeah.
go through it. It's like they drop all the time, and so you really have to.
Yeah.
And when you're a grappler trying to strike, it's not a jiu-jitsu tournament. You have to realize that maybe you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you could be turned into a white belt with one punch.
Yeah.
Because when you get hit in the face, you're all like this, and then like you turn into a beginner really
Scrub.
fast.
Turn into me.
You
You'd just be a random guy hosting a podcast.
Just Joe Schmo.
Yeah, getting fucking knocked out in the ring. That's crazy. Do you did you ever watch iCarly growing up?
Yes.
You know the iCarly show? You know she fought that one girl. It was like a fake show. She fought who was the girl who ended up doing Victorious? Victoria Justice.
I saw that.
Victoria Justice was like an MMA fighter, and iCarly had to like fight her in some episode.
Yeah.
She just like hung on her leg. If let's say somebody random in your life, let's say for instance, just because your cousin's the one that told me to reach out to you. Let's say your cousin gets in the ring with you. Dustin gets in the ring with you. How long do you think he could last if he was just trying to last as long as he could? He knew he couldn't fight you, and he was like potentially going to run around the ring or grab onto you or something. How long do you think you would allow a normal person to last in the ring if you were trying to kill them and they were just trying to hide?
30 seconds.
30 seconds just to catch them? Yeah?
Tops.
We should do that. That'd be fun.
Hey, I mean,
Because I don't want I know I wouldn't be able to hit you, but it would just be fun to run away from you.
you guys can come to Huntley anytime you want to
God,
try this
you
out.
Get smoked. You get smoked. I did a little bit of boxing for a couple of months, and it's really fun. I actually want to it's a big goal of mine to get back into it, just
You
as a
should.
hobby. It's something I enjoy doing.
It's a good workout for
It's
your
great.
basketball.
Yeah,
It's great.
great cardio, and I've always loved the Rocky franchise, so that's just something I love watching that. Is there anything for you? Any movies for you that like are like inspiring? Any media for you that's inspiring? Music maybe that like you enjoy, gets you psyched up?
No, I don't get pumped up over music or anything.
Really?
I live in my head.
What's in that head of yours, man?
Oh,
What's
you
going
don't
on?
know.
What's going
just
on?
random things. For example, I have like 3 different songs stuck in my head at the same time. Like
What are
all
the songs?
Time. Random. They're
Okay.
so random.
You're just playing 3
And
tracks side by
yeah,
side.
It's weird up there, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to be weird-minded to be a fighter, though, if you think about it.
I know. I agree. There's no way you would want to go in there and do what you guys do without being a little jacked up in some way, right?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
But yeah.
That's fair. How have you ever had people ask you like they'll be like, "What do you do?" and what do you say?
What do I do? I say that I work at Stolly, but I'm a part-time fighter for now. I say for now at the end of it.
Okay.
Because for now, I go part-time with my first fight the sky's the limit when I don't go part-time anymore.
Yeah.
You have to make at least 6 figures a fight to quit your job, your day job.
Really?
To live comfortably, because you can't just rely on fights. Because what if someone pulls out?
Yeah.
What if someone gets hurt?
Or you get injured or something.
Yeah, then you have no money.
Yeah.
Then to pay your bills. That's why you really got to make sure you set yourself first before making that move.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, wow. So what when you say that to somebody, right? And you're like, I'm a part-time fighter for now. How does the conversation go then? What do they say next?
They're like, you fight.
Okay. Do they ever want? Because like sometimes like comedian, right? If somebody's a comedian, like wanting to be a comedian, they're on the come up, and someone asks them what they do, and they're like, oh, I'm a comedian. They'll be like, oh, tell me a joke. Is there an equivalent of that for fighting, where someone be like, put me in a headlock, let me see?
I have not come across that, and I would not.
You've not met anybody crazy enough,
right?
Because I'm him, bro. I'm him. That's what I wanted. Would you put me in a headlock to end the episode?
Sure. I mean, what do you mean by headlock?
Just like, I don't know, like how long can I go without before I'll pass out? I don't want to pass out. I don't want to pass out.
You know, a blood choke, it takes like 3 to 5 seconds.
For me to tap?
For you to pass out?
Oh, for me to... Oh, shit, bro. For real?
I can show you how it feels like.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to do a whole sparring session.
Oh, no. I'm not going to fight you. No, I'm just saying, I literally on camera so that people can see.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I could put you in the most basic one called the rear naked choke, and they could see your face turn white to pink in a second.
Wow. I'm down. I'm definitely down when we wrap the episode here in a minute.
I should get a waiver.
Before we do it, you know what's funny? I was supposed to have you sign a waiver for the show, and I didn't have it. I didn't bring it home with me. So, okay. So before we wrap, is there anything we didn't get to today that like you maybe just want to put on the record or anything? Any questions for me before we wrap?
I don't think so. I appreciate you having me on here.
Dude, I appreciate you taking the time. I didn't think your cousin mentioned it, and I was like, there's no. I'm just now saying she's on Bellator. I'm like, there's no way she's gonna have time. But I was like, I'll reach out.
Sundays are the limits.
Okay.
Any other day, I probably won't respond because I don't know if I have a message or not.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I respect you coming, and I appreciate your time because I know you're working very, very hard, and especially with that routine you just explained to us. I know you've got your days are scheduled, so I appreciate you making a little bit of time to come hang with us and do the interview. But is there anywhere, do you want people to follow you, to check you out anywhere? You want to plug anything before?
I have Facebook. My normal Facebook's Mackenzie Stiller. That's for like family and people I know. I don't add random people.
Yeah.
But I have a fan page on Facebook, Mackenzie Mac Judo Stiller. I have an Instagram, Mac_Judo. Those are the only things I have.
Okay.
If you guys want to follow, I'll follow you back. If I know you.
Yeah, but, if I want to. If not, fuck you.
But you can follow what I'm doing. That fan page is always there. And
super cool.
Just thanks to all my supporters.
What should we be looking forward to next? Any announcements you can't make?
Yet. Okay. Not yet, but it will be publicly announced when I know.
Okay, very cool. Well, we're looking forward to that. Eagerly looking forward to it. I also want to say a quick thank you to our patrons that are supporting the channel. Hopefully it'll be up on the screen when I edit this. I want to just say a quick thank you to you guys for supporting the channel. If you guys are interested in getting behind the scenes access to extra podcasts, extra videos, as well as a series where I break down how I mix, master, and record every single one of my songs, go to patreon.com/DarrenRita, and you can help support the channel for as little as $1. With that out of the way, also shout out to whoever is sponsoring this episode. You know, you're here. Maybe I'll re-record that once I figure out who it is. But before I let you go, I'm gonna have you put me in a headlock, in a lock here.
Rear naked choke.
A rear naked choke. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Okay. Should I lose the helmet? Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to show your hair.
Okay, that's okay.
Oh man.
Yeah. This is 2 games and 70 some points later. But okay, so we're good over there. I'm gonna cut this camera here, and then can you do it with me sitting down, or I have to stand up?
You can sit down.
You can.
That's probably better because you're way taller than me.
Okay, can you just stand right here probably and do it? Because you'll have the camera right here on me. Okay.
Just let me know when to go.
Okay, so can you want to explain to the people, or to me at least, as we're doing this, what we're doing?
I'll let you know what I'm doing to you.
Okay. Is this okay from behind like this?
Yep.
Can you see her?
Yep.
All right.
I'm doing this for you guys, okay? This is entertainment value right here. This is the clip.
My right arm, you can do it on both sides, but I'm doing it on my right side. My armpit rests on his shoulder, and then the rest of it loops around like a snake around a tree. Get your head on the other side. Either gable grip or grab here. I'm going to gable grip because that's what my coaches teach. Tuck your head, and then you squeeze and compress.
Holy shit, that's fast, bro.
3 to 5 seconds for you to pass out.
Holy shit, man. That's good. There you have it, guys. Undefeated. Gable grip. Holy shit. Yeah, gable grip. Holy cow! Something cracked in here, man. That's a legit. That is a strong hold right there. I thank you for being here. And I will see you guys next week when I'm hopefully not choking. Peace.